I'm going to share with your perspective a way to relate to your shadow that will hopefully shift the way you relate to it. That will hopefully shift it towards a more graceful direction. That will hopefully disrupt some of the dread, the fear, the anxiety that often comes up when we know that the next step of our evolution demands a journey through the shadow. And before going there, I would love to just give some sort of broad reminder about the shadow and what the shadow is. Your shadow is the storehouse of all the parts of you that you had to deny and disown, the parts of you that we often say you repressed in the dark, the parts of you that are not really at the forefront of your consciousness, the hidden forces that are driving some of the ways you are showing up, the hidden forces that are driving some of the ways you are expressing yourself, the part of you that is holding some of your reactivity, the part of you that is holding the hurt that you haven't found, the spiritual stamina to face, to heal, the part of you that is holding the repressed emotions that you usually don't have a way to be expressed consciously through you. The part of you that is holding some of the light that you had to repress in order to feel safe. And even some of the qualities, the goodness that terrifies you, that feels too big for you, that you've been conditioned to push away. The part of you that is really holding, a way to put it is the attic of your consciousness. Like that part that is holding all the things that we don't want to see consciously. So that's one way to really bring forth again what is the shadow. And very often, the shadow has a very bad reputation. It has a bad rap. Very often that's the thing that we don't want to face because, it is dark and that doesn't mean negative. It is dark because it's unknown. It's dark because it hasn't been illuminated. It is dark because some of what it contains is actually challenging, difficult to be with. Our capacity for, some very dark things these are the things that are held in the shadow. These are some of the things that are held in the shadow. So because of that, we dread having to dive in there. We dread exploring our own capacity to hurt, our own capacity to harm, and some of the hidden forces that are behind it. For so many people, a big amount of, their shame, for example, is hidden in the shadow. They don't want to be with it. So many people would rather bypass exploring what is in the shadow than choosing to be present with it. So just the thought form of having to dive in there brings up for so many people a whole lot of dread, a whole lot of fear, a whole lot of anxiety. And here's a perspective. Before diving into that perspective, actually, I would love to offer this. I'm inviting you to imagine that there is this part of you that has been doing imagine that you can't really cut off an aspect of who you are. You cannot destroy it. You cannot really get rid of it. You cannot really throw it into the void and into the abyss. That part goes somewhere. When you disown something, it doesn't mean that it goes away. It doesn't mean that it gets destroyed. I'm going to take an example here. Let's say you grew up in a house where, there was just a deep aversion to anger. I usually work with people, they would tell me, we just didn't do anger in my family. Or we just didn't do sadness in my family. We just didn't do that. My parents would often give this facade of like always being equanimous, if I'm going to use that. They would never really express anger, and yet you would see disdain on their face and stuff like that. And you couldn't really be loud in the house and stuff like this. So very often in that case, you choosing not to meet your anger doesn't mean that that anger doesn't exist. What you've done is only allowed it not to be expressed. You've repressed it. So there is a part of you that has actually been doing the holding. There's a part of you that has been doing the holding of the hurt. you couldn't be with, the pain you didn't know how to process and therefore you pushed away, which is very valid by all means. There's a part of you that has been doing the holding of all the parts of you that you didn't want to meet. And even, your capacity for doing harmful things, which is, because we often want to be virtuous, we repress these parts, meaning we push them aside. So there's a part of you that has been holding that. It has been holding your capacity to be vengeful. It has been holding everything that you didn't want to see. It has also been doing holding the goodness, the brightness that scares you, that you don't feel quite ready to express, but deep down you know is right here. And when you actually do that, when you actually relate to things in that perspective, what you start realizing is that the shadow itself is most likely one of the most generous, benevolent aspects of your psyche. Generous in this sense. It has been holding for you what you didn't know how to hold consciously. It has been doing the holding for you. It knows how to hold, and it wants you to realize that capacity to hold more of who you are, even. I mean, to hold more of who you are more powerfully, more potently. So when you think about things this way, and when you begin, maybe just for a hot second, releasing the need to antagonize the shadow as something that just comes to disrupt you, to create turmoil. And yes, this is some of what happens when you begin to be intimate once again with parts of you that you had repressed. There is a little bit of chaos that unfolds because there is a recalibration that gets started. So yes, indeed, there is some of that will happen. But when you begin to relate to that part of you as maybe one of the most benevolent, maybe one of the most generous, and it doesn't mean you are invited to go ahead and dwell in there. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It doesn't mean that you get to go ahead and, just dwell into your reactivity and all of these different aspects that can be very disruptive at times. And they indeed are. It doesn't mean that you need to go dwell into the sadness. It doesn't mean that you need to go dwell in there. But there is a big invitation here that you actually begin to relate to your shadow as one of the most potent forces for your evolution. It wants to deepen your capacity to hold your light. And in order to deepen your capacity to hold your light, a key necessary step is to fall in love with more of your humanness. It's to create more of the spaciousness that can actually begin to hold more of your power. This whole approach is an integrative approach. You are integrating your light as much as you are integrating your shadow. And when you look at these two forces, I often love to give this perspective. Your shadow is the dark face or the dark twin of your higher self. A very benevolent one. A part of you that wants to initiate you again. Wants to give you... Basically, it wants to deepen your capacity to love yourself. It wants to deepen your capacity to love yourself. Not just loving yourself when you are in the embodiment of your life and things are gracious and blissful and joyful. But also loving yourself when you're in the presence of shame, when you're in the presence of repressed pain, when you're in the presence of your reactivity, making the conscious choice to be present again, because this is the gift that the shadow is demanding. One thing that has been missing, and one thing that makes it hard for so many people to illuminate the shadow, they are unwilling to bring the attribute of presence in there. And your shadow is asking over and over and over and over, oh, you would like to embrace more of your light? Great, fantastic. Would you be willing to be present with this part of you? that is necessary for you to bring more of that light? Would you be willing to be present with this? Would you be willing to be accepting of this part? Would you be willing to actually discharge some of the hidden forces there? The emotions that your body held for so long, the shame, the grief, would you be willing to be present with it so that we can actually do the work of getting them to move once again, so that we can discharge your body from the density that is keeping you from embracing more of who you are? Are you willing to be present with it? Are you willing to trust the blueprint? Are you willing to trust the blueprint of your psyche? Are you willing to start trusting again this part of you that has been doing the holding for you when you did not know how to hold? It has been doing the holding for you when you did not know how to hold. And that part of you just wants you to reclaim once again your capacity to consciously do it, because you've been doing it unconsciously. And when you reclaim your capacity to consciously do it, and you claim the ability to open your heart again, which is actually a vortex, you claim your ability to open your heart again as you're bringing presence in the shadow. There's a discharge that starts happening. All the hidden forces that used to cripple you, maybe some of the difficult emotions that you didn't know how to be with, the hurt, the pain you didn't know how to be with, it gets transformed into a new quality of presence that allows you to hold more of who you are. So this is the shift that I wanted to offer to you about a new way to relate to the shadow. Your shadow is not out to get you. It is most likely one of the most benevolent attributes of your psyche. And it wants to support your evolution. And it invites your presence. It invites your capacity to be more accepting of all of who you are. Your ability to keep your heart open as you are facing some of the most difficult, challenging aspects of who you are that you had to push away at some point in your journey. And now there is that initiation that is starting to happen. This is the perspective that I would love to give to you about how to relate to your shadow. And hopefully it allows you to disrupt some of the dread, some of the anxiety, some of the fear that is related to it. And if this perspective serves you, if it supports you in that journey, I'm inviting you to share it with people who might need it. Please like and subscribe. If you feel called to it, share what comes up with for you in the comment section. I'm interested. I would love to see. And thank you for being here.